What's up guys, back with another video. In this video I'm going to be giving you 30 best features of the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. Let's go ahead and begin. The first best feature is Google Now. Now all of our information is aggregated here in Google Now. Everything from our weather to our departure and arrival times at our local airport. You do have the option to search Google, or you can simply just say Google. And in my opinion, Google Now is definitely an awesome feature. Next up is TouchWiz, and some people don't like TouchWiz, but in my opinion, I think it is one of the best skins out there that is overlaid over Android. A lot of people like the fresh stock look and stock feel of Android, which I do too, so I appreciate the Nexus devices and the Nexus lineup. But if I did have to pick a skinned version of Android, I would have to say that I would want TouchWiz. And next up is the size itself. I really like the size of the phone. The one thing about the Note 3 is that you either love it or you hate it. So in my opinion, I absolutely love the size of the screen. You can get a lot of work done at one time. You have a multi-window and true multitasking here on the Note 3. We'll get into that later on. But yeah, that is the third feature that I really like about the Note 3, and that is the size of the phone and the size of the screen in general. Next up, number 4 is the build quality. Even though Samsung elected to go with a plastic design, they did add some elegance to the phone this time. It does look a lot better than the plain plastic white designs or black design that we had before. We do have some very nice stitching on the back of the phone now. And in my opinion, the overall build quality has just been upped a notch from the previous generations. Next up, number 5 is a removable battery. So one thing about the Note 3 is that you can remove the back panel and remove the battery. So you can insert a separate battery that is fully charged and have two separate batteries, swapping them out to always have a fully charged phone. Next up, number 6 is the display. The Samsung Galaxy Note 3 has a 1080p Super AMOLED display at 386 ppi. So in my opinion, the Note 3 has a very superior screen when it comes to smartphones. The screen seems to be a perfect size when it comes to gaming, watching music videos, browsing the internet, going through emails, and any type of multimedia in general. So in my opinion, this is one of the sweet spots when it comes to a screen size. The S Pen definitely comes in handy and offers up a lot more features. We also get a very nice feature included here called Air Command. We have the option here for an action memo, scrapbooker, screen write, S Finder, as well as pen window. The best features that I use a lot is going to be the action memo. And what that does is that offers you the ability to write anything you want on here. So let's say for instance here we want to save a phone number. Let's go ahead and write 1-800-576-1423. Now I'll go ahead and go over here and hover over link to action. So this is a very cool feature. Once again, once you write the phone number down on the action memo, you have options here at the bottom, including the option to make a phone call, the option to save the phone number to your contacts. So once again, the S Pen is definitely a useful feature here on the Note 3. Next up, number 8 is true multitasking with multi-window. And first you need to enable this feature, and to do that all you need to do is go into settings, go into device, go into multi-window, and make sure that it is turned on. Once it is turned on, now you can see the little side notification bar here. You can pull it out to the side. Now once you do that, all you need to do is press and hold one of the items, bring it down to the bottom. We'll go ahead and do the same thing now with our messaging app, and we'll bring that up to the top. You can see here we have options at the bottom as well as both of our menus to search through. You also have the option to resize this page. So that's definitely a pretty cool feature. In my opinion, it is true multitasking. You can definitely be doing 2 things at once, or even 3 things at once. You have the option here to go into your different pages. So you actually could be doing 3 or 4 things at once, which is true multitasking. So multitasking here on the Note 3 has definitely been taken to another level. Next, number 9 is the ability to pair with the Samsung Galaxy Gear smartwatch. In order to pair this up the proper way, you're going to need to download the Gear Manager application. Once you have downloaded and installed the Gear Manager, you can see it says connect to Gear. You need to make sure that NFC and Bluetooth is turned on in your settings, and all you need to do is grab your device, grab your cradle, and place it in the back of it. And you can see here, after pairing up your smartwatch, you have the ability to do a bunch of different things here. You have the ability to change the clock in real time. You also have the option to turn on and off notifications, as well as settings. The Samsung Galaxy Gear smartwatch just received a few different updates, so it is able to be used with different devices now other than just the Note 3 and the Note 10.1. So now if you have an Android device running Android 4.3 or later, you are able to connect the Galaxy Gear. Next up, number 10 is the battery life. Battery life on the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 is amazing. If you're looking for a phone that's going to last you all day, possibly 2 days without a charge, the Note 3 is definitely the device for you. Even if you are doing some heavy multitasking and consuming multimedia, you're still going to get a day or two out of the battery. We get a 3200 milliamp battery here on the Note 3. Seems like all the biggest players in the game, including Apple, have not yet mastered battery life in a smartphone. Now Samsung, I would say, is the closest to mastering it with this phone here. As I said, it does get up to 2 days of battery life without a charge. Next up is number 11, and that is the ability to resize the entire screen anywhere from 5.7 inches down to 3.5 inches. On the Samsung Galaxy Note 2 and as well here on the Samsung Galaxy Note 3, we have the option for one-handed operation. If we go ahead and do that and turn on the Samsung keyboard, now you can see that if we are right-handed, we have the ability to switch the keyboard here to the right side, and if we are left-handed, we can switch the keyboard to the left side. Now that was introduced in the Note 2, and once again we have it here on the Note 3, but with the Note 3, Samsung has taken it to a whole nother level with giving you the ability to resize the entire screen anywhere from 5.7 inches to 3.5 inches. So let's go ahead and hit the internet. Here we're on factoryfreshcontent.com, which is my website. Once you have it down in this little miniature window, you can resize it. You can move it all around the screen and adjust it to where you want it at. And you can bring it back to full screen as well. Number 12 is the ability to shoot 4K video. And the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 is the first phone to be able to shoot 4K video. All you need to do is go into your video options, and you can see here at the top you have the option. It comes natively at 1920 by 1080, but you do have the option to go to 3840 by 2160, which is 4K. Now here is a video that I shot in 4K here on the Note 3. I do have it uploaded on my channel. I'm going to go ahead and link it down in the description. Be sure to watch it on the desktop and change the settings to 4K to watch it in full 4K and check out the awesome experience that the Note 3 provides via 4K video. Next up, number 13 is expandable memory. And I think all phones these days should have the option to expand your memory. I don't think anybody should be locked into 16, 32, or even 64 gig phones. So here you can see that we do have an option here for our memory card to be inserted. We can take a look at how much memory we have available here via our memory card. And right now I have a 32 gig memory card inserted. This is also a 32 gigabyte Note 3, which makes it a 64 gigabyte phone. Next up is number 14, and this is another first on a smartphone, USB 3.0, what we have here on the Note 3. You do have the option here to still plug in USB 2.0, which is pretty nice here on the Note 3, but once again, this is the first device to be able to use USB 3.0 for charging as well as syncing. So if you have a computer that has USB 3.0, you're going to have blazing transfer speeds here with the USB 3.0 cable and the USB 3.0 option here on the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. Next up, we have another first here for this smartphone that is 3 gigabytes of RAM. And this phone is absolutely blazing fast when it comes to loading applications and multitasking in general. With the 3 gigabytes of RAM, every task that you have to complete is just blazing fast to get through. Number 16 is the very high quality 13 megapixel camera that we have, as well as this awesome interface that comes along with the camera as well. We have a lot of effects and filters that we can add here. We have a panorama feature, an eraser feature where you can erase somebody out of a photo. We have a rich tone, a high dynamic range photo. You also have a golf swing, which is going to help capture an image in motion. Next up, we have animated photos, drama, sound and shot, best face, best photo, beauty face, and auto. In my opinion, everybody should play around with these filters and get used to some of the great features that the Note 3 has to offer when it comes to the camera. Once again, a 13 megapixel shooter, and it does capture very nice video as well. Once again, you have 1080p or all the way up to 4K video options here on the Galaxy Note 3. Next, number 18 really isn't a feature, but it's my opinion. I think the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 is the best Android phone out to date. Now, there is a couple close competitors, and a lot of the reasons why I think that is some of the reasons that I've covered here today. And probably the biggest reason is going to be the S Pen. Next is a 13 megapixel camera with an awesome interface. We have a very nice 5.7 inch 1080p display. We have the ability to shoot 4K video. And I could go on and on with the features. We have multitasking, true multitasking with multi-window. So in my opinion, the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 is the best Android smartphone out to date. Next up is pen window. And once you have taken out the S Pen, you have the ability to draw on the screen. And once you do that, we have an option here to add another application. So let's go ahead and add YouTube. We have the ability to scroll through all of our pages here like we normally would. We also have the ability to move our window around anywhere that we want and watch a YouTube video at the same time. So let's go ahead and play that here. And keep in mind, once again, we can scale this around. So let's say we want to scale it up here and still check out something that we're doing down here. Let's go to our gallery. You can see that the pen window application that's opened up does move over to the top of the application. Next up is the ability to take a screenshot. I'm always trying to take screenshots of things that I like and save them for later. So if we wanted to do that here with the S Pen, you see we have a capacitive button here on it. All we need to do is hold it down and touch on the screen. And you can see you have a bunch of options up here once you have taken the screenshot to do with it. Let's go ahead and just erase that and discard it. Next up is pull down notifications from any full screen app. You can see now we are in a full screen app. One quick pull down, we get a brief view of what's going on in our notifications. And if you want to take a full view, all we need to do is do a second swipe, and that is going to be the pull down notifications from any full screen application. Number 22 is voice control. Now the Note 3 has a ton of voice control features, but I'm going to go over one of my favorites, and that is using the camera. So we can grab our camera up, and once we are focused and we have our subject ready to go, all we need to say is capture, shoot, cheese. Number 23 is the ability to use one-handed apps. Now we briefly went over this earlier, so you can see once we have turned that on, you can go into messaging, and you can see once again that our keyboard is either on the left or the right hand side. Now this is very useful if you have very small hands. The Note 3 once again is a 5.7-inch display, so it is very big for someone who has small hands. Typically for a female, all you need to do is switch the keyboard to whichever side is more comfortable for you. Now this one-handed operation applications is limited to specific applications, but it is definitely a welcomed option and a welcome feature. You can see that all you need to do is press the arrow to whichever side that you want the keyboard on. Next up is blocking mode. And Samsung finally added a blocking mode here on their devices. All you need to do is turn it on. Once you turn it on, go in here and you can set specific times that you would like to be notified. So let's say if you're going to sleep from, let's say, 10 o'clock till 7 o'clock in the morning, then all you need to do is set that particular time here, and there will be no notifications and no calls that are going to be pushed through and wake you up and disturb you. Now you can also set specific calls to allow certain contacts, such as if you have specific people that you want to call you and get through, no matter if you even have the blocking mode turned on, then that is available still and still an option for you with blocking mode. So this is an extremely useful feature. Next up, number 25 is contact swiping. New Note 3 added up a new functionality here to the contact section. And all you need to do now is, if you want to make a phone call, all you need to do is swipe to the right. And for a text message, all you need to do is swipe to the left. Now this might be a small, simple thing, but it is very useful in my opinion. It does save a few steps from making a call or sending a text message. Next up, number 26 is windowed calling notification. And what this does is if you're in an application, and this is going to be hard for me to show you guys because I don't have another device to actually call myself to show you. And let's say you're in an application, say you're watching a video, and you get a phone call. Instead of interrupting your entire screen, you get the small notification up at the top saying that you're getting an incoming call, but not yet disturbing the full view of what you're doing and the multimedia that you're consuming on your Note 3. Once again, that is called windowed calling notification. Next up, number 27 is quick glance. What quick glance does is it allows you to swipe your hand over the device and get some of your critical notifications without having to turn your phone on. So let's go ahead and swipe our hand over the device now. You can see here we got our notifications, and it does turn on just for a second. It does show you all your critical notifications without having to turn the actual phone on itself. Now next up is a screenshot, and I know I showed you a screenshot earlier with the S Pen, but you're not always using your S Pen. Sometimes you're just making a phone call or just browsing the web without using the actual stylus and S Pen itself. So if you are doing so and you want to take a screenshot, once again, I take a tremendous amount of screenshots, so this is very useful to me. So all you need to do to take a screenshot without using the S Pen is to hold down the power button and the home button at the same time. Next up, number 29 is hover and click to access S Pen functions. At any time, all you need to do is grab your S Pen and hover it over the top of the screen and hold down the button. And at anywhere and any point in time, you can reach your S Pen functionalities, which in my opinion is awesome because you always want to be taking notes or using the S Pen to maybe search your phone for something. And so that is a very, very handy feature. Number 30, which is the last and final best feature here on the Samsung Galaxy Note 3, is that you can store apps on your SD card. So let's say you have a ton of photos on your device, you already have a ton of applications on there, and you store a lot of documents and applications on your phone itself. And let's say you've almost used up your 32 gigabytes that you have on your Note 3. All you need to do is pop in an SD card and get the remaining memory, whether it be a 16, a 32, or 64 gig memory card. I think that's a very handy feature. There's nothing worse than being told that you have no more storage left on your device, whether it be from having, once again, too much photos or too much apps or just too much clutter on your phone. Being able to store applications on your external SD card is a great feature. Anyways guys, that's going to do it for me on this one. This has been 30 best features of the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. I'm going to be making 30 more features, and if you guys are interested in seeing that video, let me know down in the comments section, and also let me know by hitting that thumbs up button. Do me a big favor and share this video with a friend. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, now's a great time to do so. Drop a thumbs up down below. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.